All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we'll be diving into the NFT gaming, crypto gaming markets today. As we got down below 20,000 on Bitcoin. Things were looking very bearish. We're kind of seeing a little bit of relief today, but I don't really think that's here to stay. I'll kind of cover my sentiment on the markets and why. If you've been watching the show, things are playing out pretty similar to what we've been saying here. We're really waiting on those lows, and I don't really think that that's in yet. And I'll kind of explain that here in this edition, as well as some big catalysts for some projects. We saw a new game go live as a playtest this weekend for one of the big gaming studios in the space. We have Alpha Season 3 for Sandbox, as well as Ultra's Marketplace launch. So we're going to talk about all three of these catalysts and things to look out for in the future regarding some other projects as well. So without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a cent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, let's get right into it. Be sure to like the video if you enjoy the show, if you are bullish on the future of crypto gaming, NFTs, and the metaverse, just like I am. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for videos here every single day on Crypto Banter across all sectors of crypto right here on the channel. And remember that the show is sponsored by Animoca Brands, the leading GameFi VC, and I would honestly just say platform in general. Animoca Brands, Unix Gaming, one of the leading GameFi infrastructures in all of blockchain games, as well as MEXC, the official exchange of the In the Game show. And you can check out more down below if you want to check out those platforms. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the video. And this really caught my eye this morning. I woke up and we're seeing, it might be a bear market right now, guys. It might be a bear market, and we'll talk about the market here in just a second. But wow, limit break comes out of nowhere. They've been in stealth mode was the thing. So this project had been in stealth mode. They come out of the woodworks here this morning at 9 a.m. here Eastern time. Limit Break is excited to announce that they have raised $200 million over the 2 rounds to build Web3 MMO games. So this is massive. This is absolutely massive. So this was led by Josh Buckley, Paradigm, and Standard Crypto. So this came out of nowhere. And this is what, some of the bigger money we've seen come in the space in a little bit. 200 million. That's up there with some of those Gala funds. Obviously, Gala had one of those funds that was $1 billion. And then we also have, IMX, I believe, with a $500 million fund that they raised recently. And then we see here Limit Break with a $200 million fundraise led by FTX, Coinbase, Shervin, and a bunch of other, venture capitalists, etc. Very interesting to see. And, this doubles down once again on what we talked about last week. More money is coming into Web3 gaming than traditional gaming, guys. Like the smart money and the venture capitalists, the people at the top of the food chain as far as the capital in the gaming industry right now. It is trickling into Web3 gaming, and that is undeniable. And if you don't see that opportunity unfolding, and right now it's just the cement foundation, right? We're trying to build a house here, the crypto gaming, NFT gaming industry for years to come. And this type of stuff right here, this amount of funds coming into the industry, this will lay that concrete foundation very solid for us to build a potential empire of crypto gaming in this industry, right? Crypto gaming could really find itself in this industry, whether it overtakes the traditional model or, as we talked about a couple weeks back with Ryan Wyatt, he says that he sees NFT gaming becoming a 10 to 20% subsector of the overall gaming market, which would be, very bullish for the sector. So whatever you see playing out in the future, it's stuff like this, in my opinion, that's going to set the standard. And really bullish to see this type of capital coming into NFT gaming and crypto gaming at this state of the market. There's not too much info on the projects, but they do have an interesting theory here with the free to own built around free mints for Genesis NFTs. NFTs lead to other NFTs through airdrop, none of which involved gimmicky fundraising tactics. So this will be very interesting to see their free to own model unfold. And we also see Animoca Brands Japan raising $45 million from its parent firm and MUFG Bank at a $500 million pre-money valuation. This is massive money. I mean, we wake up today, we see $250 million, basically $245 million fresh liquidity coming in and VC money coming into the Web3 space. That is insane. And I'm really, really bullish just to see that type of attention coming in from smart money into this industry. And it has vastly overtaken traditional gaming capital and fundraising and VC, et cetera. I mean, I think that you'll see that unfold over the next decade of products that come out with all this money behind this side of the industry. Now let's talk about a couple of projects, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, that had some catalysts recently. And, despite this market that I am definitely keeping an eye on, once again, to try to catch those lows, try to get those good DCAs for those long-term accumulations on top quality projects. And regarding the market quickly, I'm not ready to buy anything at this moment. I am still sitting on my hands. I said this last week. I've said this for a long time, guys. I'm just not ready to confidently get into the market at this state of time. And that's just because of the climate economically. Once again, between the US, China, inflation, September, who knows what September has in store. And I really think the only thing that could prop up the crypto market is the ETH merge, which has lost a ton of momentum. Right? It's lost a ton of momentum. We have a big red flag coming out of Avalanche today once again. Like, these big red flags on crypto also aren't helping. We've had basically black swan events throughout this time period with the Luna Cascade, with Celsius, with all these different platforms kind of, going bankrupt, going insolvent, having troubles and all this stuff. So it's been a really unique time period. And I don't think that I'm ready to unload because I still think there's more pain inbound, as you saw in the thumbnail. I do think there is more pain inbound, but you need to keep those projects on your watch list, in your sights, see what they're doing behind the scenes. Like, this is the time in the markets where these games that don't have any sort of product to push or any marketing money left, or they're out of runway, or projects that are just going to fold because it's a bear market and aren't here to stay, you're going to see those projects go quiet. And then you're going to see projects like Gala Games, for example. Gala Games this past weekend, I had the opportunity to hop in the Walking Dead Empire's playtest. And this is obviously based on the Walking Dead hit TV show from AMC. And during this time period, they've gone all out. I mean, they've let people playtest all their games, basically, from top to bottom. From Last Expedition, people got to play Grit, which is my favorite game from their platform, upcoming. Battle Royale game, looks like PUBG and H1Z1 combined. We're seeing the Walking Dead Empire here, survival MMORPG. And I got to say, this game was a ton of fun. So you go around, you craft up your headquarters, and you try to level up your headquarters. Obviously, you see me taking out some zombies here. And the experience was really smooth, I have to say. The movement mechanics, the controls, the attacks. You had the choice of between like shotguns, ARs, pistols, katanas, baseball bats. It was really, really fun. You had to go around, get resources, build up your HQ, as well to craft, weapons. You had to go find resources between metal, stone, wood. Honestly, it was a really good experience. Got to talk to some of the team behind this game as well, the specific team working on this game. And it's really interesting, the outlook on the play to earn side of things in the future, as well as the progression of the game, because we only played one subsector of the game here, right? This was just a test, and we only were focusing on building up our headquarters and surviving rounds. You see me now going to kind of seek out resources. As you see Jules here, he's mining for some resources, building up his base. And as you see, I get to chopping down some trees. So this is one of many games coming to Gala Games platform. And the good thing, when you back these infrastructures, they are covering so much ground in the industry. It's covering so much ground. If you don't like those type of games, okay, they have a battle royale. You're not a battle royale fan. Well, they have strategy games, they have brawlers, they have third-person shooters, they have MMOs, card games. Everything under the gaming landscape anything that tickles your fancy gaming wise, you can find it on a platform like Gala Games, like Vulcan Forge, like Ultra, etc. So that's why I'm so bullish on platforms like that, which are, basically the distribution method for tons of these quality games, because then you're not even just backing one game, you're backing a catalog of games. And then obviously with the music, the film, very bullish on Gala, and definitely one I am taking a look at as far as waiting on DCA opportunities, right? I think that it's going to be very interesting. We saw down here at these lows, we actually DCA'd around here whenever it was on its way up. And we saw it rise up here about a 40% gain. Took a little bit off the table there on that move, obviously, with this market climate. And we see it down back in those DCA ranges that we nibbled at last time. But this is not something that I'm looking to actively DCA yet, because as I just mentioned, I see us going a little lower. And any little, boost in the market that we see right now, I think will just be a catalyst of relief, not anything that like, oh, that was the bottom. Like, I think that sentiment has been so overrated that was the bottom. That was the bottom. I don't think that's the case. And if we see some relief in the markets, I actually think it's going to be very short-lived. And then we see Sandbox now under $1. And I've been talking about how I want to see Sandbox under $1. Let's see how much further it can go down, especially if my thesis plays out with the market. And now Season 3 Alpha is now live. So if you want to go compete inside of Sandbox in the leaderboard, try to earn some sand tokens, or just play around in the Sandbox game, they have some experiences there. They're alive. A Love is Forever and The Walking Dead, ironically, The Walking Dead, A Day in Alexandria, the experience with 23 quests, and it is multiplayer. So definitely be sure to hop in the Sandbox if you haven't already, because Alpha Season 3 is free to play. You can earn some sand tokens. You can earn some NFTs. Definitely worth going in there and checking it out, because this is one of the leaders in the clubhouse, right? As far as the metaverse goes, I would say right now they are the leader in the clubhouse with all the brands, the names coming to the Sandbox first and wanting to build in the Sandbox. I think that speaks for itself. And then Ultra. So the last week, we've kind of seen the market cascading downwards. We got below 20,000, but we saw Ultra really holding strong. And we talked about the catalysts on some of these projects that could have held up during this time period between, not a lot of announcements regarding inflation and the Fed, and with the ETH merger. So the ETH merger is about 15 days away, right? We're 15 days from the ETH merger. But remember, we talked about the catalysts for stuff like Ultra. Ultra just today had their launch for their unique marketplace, which is their NFT marketplace, where you can get assets inside of games, different assets across, ecosystems that are on Ultra and distributing through Ultra. And we've actually seen the price, with some good action this week, from 31 cents up to 36 cents. And that was really as a result of the anticipation leading up to the unique marketplace. And this is one I always have on my radar. And after this unique marketplace launch, if we see a dip as a result of a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, right? Because we're looking at a 7-day here. So this is 7-day price action. We could see a little bit of movement, especially if the market is volatile. So always be careful in that regard. But as far as long-term valuations, I think that Ultra is near the top of my list as far as where the market cap sits and where I think it's going to sit in the future, with 50 plus game publishers coming to the platform. I think that speaks for itself. You can see that the unique marketplace has their drop schedule here. So all the different collections that are launching this week, you can see that obviously their announcement that it's live, as you can see, the unique driven utility-driven uniques with the Galaxy Droids, the Ultra Power, and the Legends Elysium collections. And then you see Ultra's Power number 1, 2, 3, and number 12 have sold out. Galaxy Droids have sold out. So good to see the action on the unique marketplace. I've been waiting on these developments. We have been waiting on these developments from Ultra for a long time, right? I mean, this has been in our scope for over a year at this time period. As far as I joined Banter about 10 months ago, but I also had my own channel before then. I mean, this has been on my radar for over a year, and it's really good to see this playing out and actually seeing launches coming to the platform and seeing these NFTs, the marketplace activity, the community on Ultra is so strong. So it's just awesome to see after all this time, things coming through for the people who have high convictions, stuck around in those projects of top quality. As I always preach, have your, High caps, low risk, mid caps, mid risk, low caps, very high risk. And this is not the market to even be dwelling in anything low market cap, in my opinion. Always have your eyes on what is going on, what the prices are looking like, what the valuations are looking like, more importantly, behind these tokens, right? The lower that these market caps get on tokens like Sandbox, Ultra, for example, like if Ultra was to dip below $100 million market cap, I'm buying, right? That would be a trigger for me. So it's at $110 million market cap. So if the market plays out, and I know, sentiment across the channel, I think this morning I heard, right? Kyle said 12 is inevitable. 12 is inevitable, he says, for Bitcoin, I think is what the term was. So if that plays out, I think we'll definitely see those valuations that are going to just be crazy value buys in the future. So I'm really excited for that, guys. Rant over for today. I will be back on Wednesday with another edition of In the Game. As always, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed the show and subscribe to the channel for shows here every single day regarding NFT gaming, DeFi, fundamentals, charting. We have you covered across the channel here. So I will be back on Wednesday with another show. Guys, as always, play well, my friends.